Hi, and welcome to Home-Based Business Review. I'm your host, Carl Douglas. I got to say, I'm very excited about what we're going to be sharing today because we have a special guest. We have Faye, and I'm going to show you her information so everybody can have it. Faye is an author, internet marketer, and a professional speaker. We got her right here in front of us. And we're going to basically pick her brain. We're going to use her and abuse her, okay? Because we're going to be talking about a subject that I'm not aware of. I'm aware of it, but I'm not an expert in it. But we want to know more about this. And what we're talking about is why everybody's talking about Clubhouse. Okay. Faye, are you there?
I'm here. How are you, Carl?
You know what? I'm doing well. And I can see also at the same time, Faye, we have a guest we're going to allow in the room here. And this is going to be Faye Michelle. And I'm going to add her right now. And how you doing?
You're going to allow me?
Yeah, I'm going to allow you. No, it's all good. This is my wife, Jackie. But
hello.
Her name, which is called Faye Michelle. And she's also a well-known book author. She had numerous of books underneath her belt right now. But right now we're going to give the floor to Faye. Okay. And Faye is going to basically ask the question about Clubhouse, okay? So Faye, take it away. Why is there a big buzz about this?
Oh my goodness, because it's just a crazy community. And I almost feel like part of the buzz is it seems a little exclusive because, as most of the Android users know, if they've heard about Clubhouse, that is currently only for the Apple iOS platform. So that in itself makes you feel a little special as an Apple, device user to be able to use this platform. I personally feel like it's next level social media just because of the layout. And man, it's growing through leaps and bounds. Like probably, I don't want to say double daily, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think when I joined, there were a few 100,000 members back in December. And now I know it's in the millions. Wow. And it actually started in March as a beta from my understanding. So it's fairly new. It's barely, they may be coming, maybe just had their 1-year anniversary. I'm not sure. But that, and the fact that it's also an invite app. So in addition to it being exclusive to Apple iOS users, it's also by invite. So that creates a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz, and you know how we are, people want what they can't have a lot of times.
Yes. So what I'm hearing that you have to have an Apple phone.
Yes.
Okay? You have to have a personal invite by somebody who has an Apple phone. Okay.
Yes. And that's Clubhouse.
Okay. So what is the advantage of having this? What does it do for us?
I'm going to be honest, when someone sent me an invite, because when you're invited and you join, you get 2 invites and then it grows through different things. But when I was first sent the invite, I sat on it for a few weeks, had no idea what it was. I'd heard about this Clubhouse. And then the person who gave me the invite said, "What are you doing? I sent you the invite. You need to get on here." So I went on and I was excitedly overwhelmed because there was so much, but there's just a wealth of information, Carl and Faye Michelle. There's a wealth of information on anything that you're interested in. So Carl, for instance, you promoting and supporting and educating the home-based business. I bet you there's a club on Clubhouse about having a home-based business.
Okay.
Jackie, you and I are both authors, so there are a ton of authors clubs. So going back to my whole community concept, Clubhouse, if you're looking for your community, and I think I mentioned this to you, Jackie, before, that if there's one thing that I needed most on my journey is I need a community of people who are doing some of the same things I'm doing, like other authors, so I could learn about, best practices and the do's and don'ts. Well, Clubhouse is where you will find your community because everything is covered. Everything is covered. And I have to say it's a little addicting. So when I didn't go on at first, once I did, and I got a feel for it, because it takes you not long. I don't want to, make it sound like it's hard to learn Clubhouse, but it takes a minute to adjust to the culture and how things are set up as far as the platforms and going in and out of rooms. And, I just found myself bouncing from room to room to room, because at any given time, there could be 100 rooms go in session, like talking about anything from business to something very personal, to something very raunchy, to something very professional. It's whatever you're seeking, more than likely you're going to find it. And if you don't find it, guess what? You, as a member of Clubhouse, can create it. You can start a room on any topic, so.
That's beautiful right there.
I remember when I first got on, though, you guys, I was on so much day and night, because some of the rooms have specific times and some of the rooms go for days and days and days. And you wonder how they do that, because they are large rooms. When I say large, meaning they have a significant number of people in the room, several hundred, maybe over 1,000, and they may have various moderators. So when you have different moderators, you can literally say, okay, I'm going to moderate the first 2 hours. Faye Michelle, you're going to come in and moderate, the next 2, and then Carl, and then you just rotate. And because it's global, there are, every time zone. So there's always someone on Clubhouse, always.
Wow. So that could help you grow your business online. What I'm hearing.
Absolutely. If you are innovative, an out of the box thinker, it will definitely grow your business, because let's face it, there's some people who aren't really just not feeling social media for growing your business, but we know it does. And I just heard someone say today, the great thing about social media and platforms like this is absolutely free. You don't have to pay for social media to grow your business. It's like you have an audience, you have a far reach. So Carl, absolutely. It can grow your business in many ways. It can grow your business because you will be educated and informed about things you may not have known about in that industry, or new things that are coming that would benefit you. But it also grows your business, because when you have a good game as far as your conversation, the dialogue, and what you're sharing, they like to say, when you bring value to the room that you enter, regardless of what that looks like, people instantly want to follow you. And then they want to follow your other social media platforms like Twitter or Instagram, because they're like, oh my goodness, Carl is talking some really good stuff, and I don't want to miss what he's talking about. So I'm going to have to check out his Instagram page and his Twitter or whatever else he has. In fact, because Clubhouse only allows me to interact with you in the confines of this room, and I can't message you, I have to be able to connect with you outside of this. So I have to direct message you on Instagram or Twitter, because you can't do that in Clubhouse. Clubhouse is strictly, it's an in the moment app, and nothing is recorded. So once it's gone, it's gone. So I go in rooms sometimes and I hear somebody repeat something that was said earlier, and I'm like, dang, I missed it. But I can't be in there 24/7. So a lot of stuff is repeated, because a lot of the information, if it's good and it works and it's valuable, then you're going to hear it again. So don't worry about missing out.
So what I'm hearing is that you have a connection with Instagram. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes. So when you join Clubhouse, you have the option to link it to your Instagram or Twitter. And why it's so important is because, like I said, other than me seeing you in a room on Clubhouse and having dialogue, if I make it to the stage, there's no other way for us to connect. But if I go to your profile page on Clubhouse, because if you've seen what it looks like, let me see, and I don't even know if this will show, but if you've seen what a room looks like, then you can click on somebody's profile picture. And I'm going to do this really quick. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. Probably not too well. I don't know what the right thing. But you see all those little images. So those are individuals in a room on Clubhouse. If I click on any one of their pictures, it's going to take me to their Clubhouse profile. When I go to their profile, I'm going to learn whatever it is they want me to know about them. If they are an author, an actress, a musician, a business owner, an attorney, a cook, a restaurant owner, anything that I want the Clubhouse community to know about me, I'm going to put it in my profile. And that's what draws people. Because, for instance, I've gone on pages because I heard somebody talking and their voice, their charisma, their what they were saying was so powerful that I clicked on their picture and then I saw, oh my goodness, we had a lot of things in common. So I started following them. But if I want to talk to them outside of Clubhouse, I have to do that through apps like Instagram or Twitter. So then I click on their Twitter link and then I go to Twitter and I see their Twitter account. And it's like, I'm gonna follow them on Twitter. And it's like, hey, I have a question for them. So I'm going to direct message them. So let me give you a good example of that. The other day I was in a room on Clubhouse because they call them rooms. I was in a room on Clubhouse because the room showed up in my hallway, and the hallway has rooms based on things that you have either said you like, clubs that you belong to, and people that you follow. So their rooms will show up in your hallway. So my hallway may look different from yours or Jackie's. So one of the rooms that showed up in my Clubhouse, because I'm following all things author, writer, publisher, you know, books, whatever. So there was a writer's room, and I believe the topic was around publishing and just all things, you know, for authors. A lot of great information for authors. Well, the idea of audiobooks came up, and Faye Michelle and I have had this conversation because I've been on the fence about an audio. I made the decision I want to do one, but I just haven't done it yet. So there was a gentleman on Clubhouse who is like a professional at audiobooks, and he gives a lot of advice. And he said, if you're interested, you know, just go to my Instagram, which I know to get to his Instagram, I have to go to his profile on Clubhouse. And so I went to his profile, and it said, get a free 30-minute consultation. I did it like in a heartbeat. So I have a 30-minute consultation with him on Friday to talk about audiobooks, because I have some questions about that whole platform. So that's an example of how you can connect with people through the social media. It's a must. So let me say this. If you are on Clubhouse and you bring value and you share whatever it is, and somebody clicks on your profile and there's no Instagram or Twitter, they're going to say, where's your Instagram or Twitter? Like, how come you don't have it linked? Because they know that's the only way they can link up with you outside of Clubhouse.
Okay. So you can't put a Facebook link in there. It would have to be Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah. Interestingly, it's not Facebook. They're not connected to Facebook, only Instagram and Twitter. And I don't even recall that coming up. The owners, the founders of Clubhouse have two really important meetings every week. Every Wednesday night, they have a new member meeting. Because they give you all of the basics, you know, the 101 of Clubhouse and how to navigate. And on Sundays, they do a town hall meeting, and that's for everyone to ask questions about why do you guys do this, and are you going to do that? So like that question about Android users, it comes up probably every week. Wow. And last I heard was it's coming in a few months.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna let Faye Michelle chime in here because I know she asked questions. Thank you for your patience, Faye Michelle. Go ahead and take the floor.
I think Faye is answering a lot of the questions. It's just, I think one of my questions, I think she answered, how do you actually navigate through the app? It's basically an audio, or it's not a visual or texting. So It's an audio, like a podcast.
Absolutely. it's like a podcast, but now you have a room full of people, and whatever the topic is, you may be the only one talking. You may have other moderators that are talking and sharing the stage with you. And there's a whole, etiquette around moderating. And then you may invite people to the stage. So what that looks like is you decide you want to do a room on writing children's books, and you invite other authors to moderate with you, to share in the conversation and provide or bring value. And then in the room, on that same page, like what I showed you guys on here, you may have 100 other people that are in the room just listening, and you open it up for questions. You can bring people to the stage to ask questions. I have been in rooms where there's only been 1 or 2 people on the stage and they don't open it up for questions. And I've been in rooms where there's like 50 people on the stage, and it gets a little chaotic and crazy because you have to tell people to mute. But as a moderator, you can mute people too, because, sometimes people forget to mute.
Yes.
Clubhouse etiquette. Mm-hmm.
So you actually, I'm just visualizing it in podcasting. So you're able to see when someone wants to put their hands up or want to speak and whatnot through the app as you're talking.
Yeah, the moderator can see that. So as a moderator, you are able to, and anybody that you invite to be a moderator, they're able to see this too. So when someone raises their hand, you can see that, and you can allow them to come up to the stage. However, let's say, you just want to pick out certain people. You may look in your audience and say, there's my girl Fayette. Girl, get up on the stage. And then you'll bring me onto the stage. So it's 2 options. People can request, but you have to, bring them up. And you can also bring up people because you may know them personally or professionally. And you may say, oh, I'm going to bring up this person to the stage.
So it's a list of names that pop up, perhaps like in Zoom where the chat is, and you can see all of the people that are in the room.
Yes. So everybody's image comes up as a little small circle, or, kind of like a square circle with rounded, corners, and their name, whatever their profile name is. So some people don't use their real name. It's whatever you're feeling. Some people have their nickname, their business name, their real name. Some people use their real picture. My image right now is my image, my picture, and my book, my book cover. Some people change them out. You can literally change out your profile picture, your profile information, all of that as much as you want throughout the day. There's no limit. So an example of that could be, you may be in a room where they're talking about books. I'm on this author's thing, right? Right. Books, and you'll notice that people change their profile picture to their book cover. And then it's kind of cool because when they start talking, you won't see their picture, but you'll see their book cover. And that creates a little interest. And you click on it and say, oh, let me go to their Instagram and let me buy their book. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I use that often, the book covers.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just another avenue of promotion, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
It just sparks that interest, and definitely person will, go further to seek out who you are and what you're about.
Yes.
So that's really, really, and, I have my shirt sitting here. I didn't get a chance to put it on. Yeah, right. I see you. You're looking good right there, man. Okay.
You gotta see some. Carl's trying to read it. Okay, Carl, there's one more line.
Okay.
Yeah, see?
I like it.
My whole motto, my whole statement to live by based on the book.
Okay, exactly. And that's why I was like, he called me in just as I was getting ready to slip it on, but it's good. It'll hold for the next one.
Right.
But yeah, that's really quite interesting. One thing that we were searching around for, because we had an iPhone, people might need to be aware of, if you think you have an older iPhone, I don't want to say this incorrectly, but I think it's the iOS
Yes. Yes.
Has to be at least 13. So yeah, so we had one to upgrade. Okay, so you're upgrading your phone to an iOS 13, and that is a software.
Yeah.
That makes the phone. So if you have an older iPhone and you want to upgrade and use it for Clubhouse, make sure that it's the iOS 13, because the phone that we had was not able to download past 12. So
because you guys, if you know Apple, and maybe Android does this too, Apple has an update several times a year. And sometimes you need phones with more storage to be able to handle the updates.
Yes, that's exactly what happened, because the iPhone was not that old, but actually it was Ashley's, and she knows all the way, you know, being in IT, she knows how to get around all of the traditional things that we would, you know, kind of only think of. But yeah, so she did all the prep work and then discovered that, yeah, it didn't have enough space, or it was too outdated to be updated. Yeah, so it either has to go to.
Did you upgrade?
No, in fact, it was just before the call. So he's going to have to either take it somewhere where it can be upgraded, or, you know, do something else. Yeah.
Because or just get an iPhone. Just go buy one. A brand new one.
Yeah,
I'm not.
That would probably be the conclusion of it, to go down there and
I guess it is.
Get another contract, you know.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Yes, the conclusion would be to go down and get a 2-year contract and get it for free.
No. Look at my face.
No, you know what?
Yeah.
He has a point, because one of my daughters just upgraded. Well, she actually went from one carrier to another carrier, and they were offering the free iPhone 11, and I'm like,
that's what they told me.
Still using a 10. So yeah. So Carl, you did get your iPhone?
No, well, I ran out of time.
Okay.
So tomorrow will be the day I will figure out what carrier I want to use.
Well, as soon as you get it, let me know. I have invites waiting. I wasted one today. But
you know, if it's going to be something I can use that's going to help my viewers, you know, I have no problem going in and testing it out. I mean, you done talked me into it. You know, your knowledge of what you understand about it right now, it seems like something that can help the business, you know, and you need as many eyeballs you can get on whatever you're doing. Absolutely. And so it's new and it's growing so fast, and this is a time to make it happen. That's why I see it.
Because one of the things that I feel like is happening is, as much as we want, and I'm just going to be my transparent self, because that's the only way I know how to be, is as much as we want the Android community to come, at the same time, we're kind of feeling this exclusivity, because once they open the floodgates and the millions of Android users come, it's going to change a lot. Right now, they're offering things through the platform that may still be offered when the rest of the community, the other community, comes in, but it just is it's gonna be so game changing. It's gonna feel probably a little more competitive. It's gonna bring in a whole nother energy, which could be good. It's gonna be great for the founders. Heck, they might go public after that, because it's still, I think they're still considering this their beta phase. So they're working out a lot of things, you know, a lot of little things, and it's things have changed even since I've been on Clubhouse, as far as like, for instance, being able to mute people. Because if you let people onto your stage and they don't mute their mic and then they go do something and they're not even hearing you to mute their mic, it's like you get all this background noise, and now moderators are able to mute people. If you have somebody in your room that's being disruptive, you know, you could remove people from your room. I mean, well, it would be on the stage because that's the only way you could tell if they're being disruptive. But I've invited quite a few people to Clubhouse, and to the point where I was being super creative. So I invited 2 people, and then I told those 2 people, you got to invite this person, and then you kind of get real creative. So for instance, Carl, you know, I invite you, you get your 2, and then you're like, you're going to invite, you know, Jackie or Ashley, and then they're going to invite somebody, you know, Brandon, or who might already be on, but somebody else in the family. So, you know, and then now you're personally growing your community. Now, let me say this, because a lot of people don't know this. Because they are trying to keep the, you know, the ethics, they're just trying to keep the community good, like positive. And of course, you know, sometimes people and things infiltrate. They have a 0 tolerance rule that I absolutely love. So what that means, Carl, if you are moderating a room and you report someone for being disruptive, they will be removed from Clubhouse forever. So they don't, when it comes to that, if you complain to somebody. But what that also means is it impacts the person who invited them. So people are careful with who they invite. Because if you invite give your invite to someone, because your name is going to be on their profile page, invited by Fayette. And if they act a fool, you're at risk of getting kicked out, and so are you. So
that was important there.
That was real important, because
that's half of my family. I want that invite. And yours too, Jackie.
No,
all of your family.
So there's a guy that I heard in a room who was complaining about being kicked out. And I'm like, how is he back on here if he got kicked out? Well, he creatively got another phone line and joined under a different name, but so he can advocate for himself, because if he's not on the platform, he can't advocate. But he was advocating in rooms with some powerful people, asking them to please help him get back on Clubhouse, because he didn't feel like he did anything wrong. And he knew that he was missing a huge opportunity, because I told you guys the reach is global. You have people from all over the world, and now you're starting to see roots for specific groups, like people from China, or people from, I saw a room today with Brazilians. So people are creating their own communities on Clubhouse, cultural communities, as well as business communities.
Wow, this is very, very interesting. I think I'm gonna get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna do it quick because my wife will be asleep.
Wait, as soon as you do, hit me up and say I'm gonna need that invite.
Look, he's gonna have to live in Clubhouse.
You know what happens, people, and I remember, like I said, when I joined, I was addicted. I could not stay off of it. Now I'm on maybe once a day. Sometimes I'll skip a day, you know, because I'll get busy with other stuff. But there's something. There's always going to be something. But after, I would say, well, a couple of things. One, if you have to know, and most people, I would hope, better than me, know how to manage their time. Because somebody made a comment on Facebook, all these people living in Clubhouse aren't getting anything done. You're not growing your business. You're not doing this or that because you stay in Clubhouse. And at some point, you have to move to action. You can't just can't stay in there absorbing everything. And it's helped me move to action on a few things. That's the reason why I have merch. I thought about it, but Clubhouse moved me to action. So that's the some of the benefits.
Yeah, I heard that same message on Facebook, and I was like, see, I knew about Clubhouse and actually had an invitation, but did not know that you had to have an iPhone at the time. So I got one sitting somewhere from an invite from my TikTok. It was a TikTok community, and it's the same thing. So I have the thing that I like about the TikTok platform is that once you get your 1,000 subscribers, you can go live and you can host all kinds. So I've been doing that, and it really is addictive. It's not the just the dance and whatnot. You can actually host, I mean, just tons of things that you want to teach, you want to learn, but you can be on these platforms for a long time, and you definitely should be getting something out of it. And that's why I didn't really rush into it, because I probably, it would have stopped me from doing so much. I'm doing so much just by, creating your merch and writing your books and getting and doing all of your, and you, not only are you doing all of that, you're working a full-time job as well. Yeah. So, with, the babies and all that, yeah, it can be very, very time consuming. And it must matter for me. I can't just go in there and just, spend time. If I can have it listening, like a podcast while I'm doing what I'm doing, it would be beneficial. However, beyond that, I have to take total control over my time, because basically when you are self-motivated entrepreneurs, you have to think that you have to work harder than you work for your 9 to 5.
Exactly.
And so you have to weed out those things that are just unnecessary. But if you can turn that into your platform of advertisement, whatever, networking, it has to matter. It has to matter. It has to really matter.
So, I think by listening to this, you have to have a plan of action. You hear the benefits. So we got to thank you once again for providing us with this information, because people need to understand before they use it how it's going to benefit them. And you're giving us all kind of nuggets in that direction. So we're going to have to invite you back. But before I conclude the call, I want to make sure that Miss Michelle, do you have anything you would like to ask her before? We have 2 minutes here, so if you have anything you want to clear your mind with. So you have the floor for 2 minutes on that, and then after that, Faye, we want to hear your final comments. Okay.
I'm gonna have to act like the queen here. I take the time that I need. I was like 2 minutes. Don't give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna have to do all the editing. Basically, I just think that it's a really great opportunity to just network, really. I mean, it's another platform, but I think that it's on maybe a higher scale, because the people that are on the platform is coming. They are bringing it. They are getting their seat at the table. So they have something to offer, and they have something that they want to get. And it reminds me, I think it was Facebook years ago. Remember when they used to have rooms which you would go into or something? Was that Facebook or MySpace?
I don't remember.
I remember Spanos used to, my niece was on there, and she was always saying Spanos was in the room. The millionaire down there in Stockton, and they were always in a room or something like that, So I wonder if it's kind of a spinoff from that. And I think it was before Facebook. I pretty much think it was. So it was during that MySpace phase and things, but they had chat rooms. That's what it was. Remember, you used to have chats. Right. So, and I don't know if it was a visual thing or whatever, but because I never gone into any of those. But this is a different platform. But I've been hearing it. I think I even seen an advertisement for it, like streaming on Facebook Clubhouse, and and I've definitely heard those messages. Stay off and get your business right or whatever. So one thing I was going to say about Carl is he is definitely that person that is going to lead into those technologies that jumps out first. I am the person that says I want all the bugs worked out first before I jump, and because when I get it, I'm keeping it, so to speak. and I don't want to be, spending a whole lot of money on things that, I'm gonna have to upgrade to anyway. So he's not opposed to going out and getting an iPhone because he's already had a couple before, So yeah, it's but it really is kind of, it makes me think like, not really, it's a forced issue. I have in order to be on. So I instantly, my things instantly go up at that point. Like, what? Really? Come on. And
well, Dr. D, she said something that was really important to listen to right now. She says everything is about timing.
Ooh. Yeah, timing is
timing. So remember, whatever we look at, sometimes, those people who are sitting there, oh, I'm going to wait for this, I'm going to wait for that. Well, by the time they come in thinking that the weather is fine, it could be a storm in there.
Okay? Yes.
So just remember that when you look at anything, remember you need to look at the timing of that product or service. And I really believe, like right now, the time is perfect. That's why we're doing this video right now.
Yeah, I'm big to timing is everything. Us connecting, me getting on this platform. I just happened to mention Clubhouse on the last interview, and here we are.
Yes.
I want to leave you guys with 3 things about platform. I'm gonna need Rohan and my goodness, his name is on the tip of my tongue, the 2 founders. Okay. I'm gonna need them to put me on payroll. But anyway, one thing that came up because of something you said, Jackie, one of the great things about it also is you can multitask with it. And what I mean by that is, and they even mentioned this on one of their town hall meetings, is that you can have Clubhouse on, listening to it because you're not seeing video, it's audio and images, and you could be doing other things. It's not one of those apps that when you leave to go text someone, surf the net, it goes off. In fact, if you get a phone call while you're on Clubhouse and you answer it as soon as you hang up, it takes you right back into the room. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
You don't have to feel like, oh no, it's gonna once I go check out this movie time, it's gonna be gone. No, it stays on until you actually leave the room, and that's another feature you'll learn about. The second thing that I wanted to say is that not that I'm a groupie, but a lot of celebrities do come on Clubhouse.
Okay.
And they draw a lot of attention. 1, for the moderator, because people are going to want to come in their room and it grows their room. 2, because sometimes they have something of value to say and people just want to hear them and you feel almost closer. I was in the room a few weeks ago and Hammer was in there, and then Hammer celebrated his birthday on Clubhouse. So you have people doing that stuff too. And when you hear them talking on Clubhouse, you feel so connected because they're not scripted. It's not like a TV interview where it's like, okay, don't ask me this and don't say that. It's just, whatever. It's just a very open, free platform. So there are a lot of celebrities. Carl, for you, I know that once you join, you're going to find a lot of people that you already know that are in Clubhouse, because once you join, it's going to tell you people that are in your contacts that are already in Clubhouse. So you're going to see that. I personally can't wait for Carl to join, because when I follow Carl, whenever Carl joins a room, it's going to say, Carl Douglas just joined marketing and branding your home-based business. And I'm going to be like, oh, Carl's in that room. Let me go check it out. So, okay. So it's continuous things to draw you in. But yeah.
I think that's like Duo. Also, whenever you go on, it'll pop up and it'll tell you that Duo's on, somebody's online right now using it.
That's exactly what it does.
Is it Rohan Seth? Is that who you're talking about?
Seth and oh my goodness, not David. Oh my goodness, his name's on the tip of my tongue.
I figured up Hammer right now. Hammer's on.
Paul.
Paul? Paul Davidson.
Yes, Paul
Davidson. That's what I was going to say, Paul. Yeah.
They're both from California.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But yes. Okay, and Carl, I got one more nugget for you, as if you're not already. So Carl's not gonna sleep tonight, Jackie. He's not.
I'm excited. I'm telling you.
What's the other nugget? So Carl, let's say you're in a room and you're dropping gems and you hear somebody and you're like, I gotta connect with this person. You can invite them to a private room where it's just the two of you on Clubhouse and you can have the conversation. Sometimes people will be going back and forth having this heavy conversation and the moderator will say, hey, y'all need to go get a room. like go get a
wow. That might not be too good. Listen here. It says now I don't know how old this is because anyway, listen to that. It says Silicon Valley is going crazy for Clubhouse, a social media app with 1,500 users that's already worth 100 million. So I don't know what that number is representing. That says May 20th. And I know that there must be more people.
Oh, there's millions.
And it has Hammer's face on there.
Yeah. You know, I met MC Hammer at UC University of Merced. He was in one room during an election. I was in the opposite room. I remember that we were almost competing to find out who can get the most hand claps. It was pretty interesting. But I do know that he's really into technology. He loves the fact that he can see the future by watching all this growth going on. And that's my hobby. I love that as well. That's why I'm excited to share this with my audience as well. For those who are interested, I want to say this. Those of you who are interested in hearing more about this, go ahead and let me know, because you know how to get a hold of me. I make myself very transparent. I would love to connect with anyone who can see this timing right now. Okay? So let me know, guys. So Fayette, it was a pleasure. Okay? Talking to you, Fayette, the author, internet marketer, and speaker. Man, I'm excited. you got me going. And I got to say, my Faye Michelle, you know, what can I say? I got a crush on you. What can I say? You're a beautiful person. And you know what? If I didn't marry you, I would be right here on the camera. But you know, after 35 years, I don't need to
I'll be editing this.
Of course you will.
Don't worry, Clyde.
But listen,
this is really interesting.
Yeah, we're going to have you back. So let me go ahead and conclude the call right now. And thank you again, both of you, for basically coming in and making this a very fun interview.
Thank you.
I'll give you 10 stars. Okay. Yes. So let's say goodbye. Bye for now.
Bye for now.